Far beyond Earth, in the quiet edges of the Andromeda Fringe, something strange happened. A signal, not from any known planet or ship, reached the deep space listening post named Helios Station. The signal was sharp, repeating, and unlike anything humanity had ever heard. At first, the technicians thought it was noise, just space static. But after running the data again, they saw it had a pattern, not natural, not random. A message. Back on Earth, the United Earth Fleet quickly held a secret meeting. They knew it could be first contact. The president of the Earth Coalition ordered a mission right away. If this really was a message from another intelligent life, then they had to be ready. The U's Vanguard was chosen. It was the newest and most powerful ship ever made by humans, a Colossus-Class Warship, bigger than any floating city. It was created not just for battle, but for long-distance travel, diplomacy, and defense. Its mission was peace, but it carried weapons that could turn moons into dust. Captain Nathan Cole stood on the main bridge, staring at the star map in front of him. He had short, dark hair, tired eyes, and the calm voice of a man who had seen many battles. He read the signal report twice, then nodded. "Plot a course to the signal," he said. Lieutenant Carla Monroe, the weapons officer, looked up. "Sir, do we know what it is?" "No," Nathan said. "But we're going to find out." The UE's Vanguard left orbit from Earth's lunar dock and entered slipspace. It was silent inside the ship. Hundreds of crew members waited, doing their jobs, but everyone felt the same thing. Something big was coming. The ship's AI Mira spoke softly in the captain's ear. "The signal has a repeating code. Mathematical, but it changes every few minutes. It is learning." Nathan didn't like the sound of that. "Can you talk to it?" "Not yet," Mira said. "But it understands that we are listening." Pilot Darren Cruz flew the Vanguard out of slipspace after 12 hours. The stars ahead glowed softly, and there, just past a dead moon, was a strange metal object. It floated slowly, turning. It was not big, maybe the size of a bus, but it gave off the signal. They stopped the ship at a safe distance. Sensors reached out. Cameras zoomed in. "What is it?" Carla asked. "It's a probe," Mira said, "but not one of ours. No race we know uses this design." Nathan narrowed his eyes. The object had small blinking lights, a round center, and what looked like old damage burn marks, even some holes. "It's been through something," Darren whispered. Suddenly, a new wave of signals came from the probe. Mira quickly decoded part of it. "They are coordinates," she said. "It wants us to go somewhere." "Could be a trap," Carla warned. "Could be an invitation," Nathan replied. He looked at his crew. They were all waiting for his command. Around them, the stars were silent. But something out there was watching, waiting. "Set course," he said, "but keep weapons ready, just in case." The Vanguard moved through empty space. The coordinates led them toward a sector with no known planets, no colonies, no life. The crew was quiet. Even the usual chatter had stopped. Nathan sat alone in his quarters for a moment, staring at an old photo of Earth. He had seen wars, lost friends. He had sworn to protect peace, but something about this mission felt different. Bigger. Back on the bridge, Mira spoke again. "Captain, we are being scanned." "From where?" "Unknown. There is no ship, no satellite, but the scan is strong." Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed for a second. Then everything came back online. "We're fine," Darren said. "All systems normal." Carla didn't agree. "That was no power glitch. Something touched us." Mira confirmed. "Something has taken a deep look at our systems. I have blocked it, but they know our size, our engine, our main systems." Nathan stood. "And now they know we came." The crew waited for orders. Nathan walked to the front of the bridge. "This ship was built to show strength and offer peace. We will keep going." But we do this carefully. One wrong move and this becomes war. Hours later, the Vanguard reached the destination. And what they saw made everyone go silent. In front of them was a structure in space. A station, giant, not as big as the Vanguard, but still massive. It was dark, lifeless, but it wasn't old. Lights blinked along its edge. Weapons, maybe. Defense systems. No one had ever seen it before. "We are being hailed," Mira said. "By who?" Carla asked. Mira paused. "The signal matches no known race. Translation is partial. But they say, 'We see your ship. We were not ready.'" "You came too early," Nathan felt his stomach drop. "Open a reply channel," he said. "Let's tell them we came in peace." The crew watched the screen. The first real alien contact was happening, and they were at the center of it. In the far stars, the unknown waited. And humanity had just knocked on the door. The UE's Vanguard drifted quietly through space, its massive hull shining like a moving city under the stars. Inside, hundreds of crew members worked at their stations, speaking softly, waiting for orders. No one knew what would happen next. Everyone had seen the message from the alien station. "You came too early." Captain Nathan Cole stood at the observation deck, looking out the wide glass wall. The alien station floated ahead, cold and still, like a sleeping beast. His mind was heavy with questions. Who built it? Why did they send the probe? And why? Did they think humanity came too early? Behind him, Mira's voice broke the silence. "Captain, the station is scanning us again." "No signs of aggression, passive scans only." Nathan turned. "Keep the shield steady. I don't want to scare them, but we won't be caught unready." Lieutenant Carla Monroe entered the deck, holding a data pad. "Sir, engineering ran full tests. No sign of damage from the last scan. The ship's systems are holding strong." "Good," Nathan said. "We keep watching." Meanwhile, in the ship's central hangar, pilot Darren Cruz showed some of the junior crew members around the flight bay. Dozens of fighter drones and two-person scout ships rested in their docks. The hangar stretched wide like a football field, clean and full of quiet power. "Each of these scouts," Darren explained, "can travel ahead of the Vanguard and send real-time data back. They're small, fast, and nearly invisible to older alien tech." One crew member, a young woman named Riley, asked, "Will we use them?" Darren nodded. "Maybe, but not unless the captain gives the word. This is first contact. We don't want to look like we're spying." At the heart of the ship was its brain, the AI chamber. Mira lived inside walls lined with glowing panels and floating data streams. She wasn't just a voice. She was the ship. She ran power, weapons, engines, even life support. Mira had been silent for the last hour. Thinking, processing, analyzing. She reached out again to the alien station. Not with words, but with pulses of light, frequency changes, and math. This was how she learned. A response came. "Mira to bridge," her voice called. "The station has returned a data packet. They are offering a history ... or a warning. I need permission to open it." Captain Cole gave the order. "Open it, Mira. Let's see what they want us to know." In seconds, images and sounds filled the main screen. But they weren't clear. Glimpses of battles, stars dying, machines turning on their makers. Then silence. A dark figure appeared, its face covered in light. A voice echoed in strange tones. "We built the gate to hide from what is coming. We saw your ship. We fear what you bring." The message ended. The bridge was silent. "What do they mean?" Carla asked. "Fear what we bring? Maybe they think we're the enemy," Darren said. "Or maybe," Nathan said, "they saw something about us they don't understand." He walked back to the screen. The Vanguard's reflection shone across the glass, a ship too big, too fast, too strong. "They saw a warship," he added, "and assumed we were like the ones from their past." Mira spoke again. Captain, I have detected movement near the station. A small shuttle is launching, unarmed. It appears to be headed toward us. Visual on screen, Nathan said. A small, smooth shuttle drifted slowly toward the Vanguard. No weapons, no shields. Just one glowing light on top. Should we intercept it? Carla asked. No, Nathan said. Let it come. Keep weapons off. This is a test. The shuttle stopped 50 meters from the Vanguard. Then, it sent a message. A simple one. One passenger seeks to board. Nathan looked at his crew. They looked back, uncertain. Bring it in, he said. One guest. We can handle that. In the hangar, the shuttle entered carefully, guided by Vanguard's tractor beams. A seal formed around the entry door. Security teams waited in armor, just in case. The door opened. A figure stepped out. It was tall, thin, wrapped in a flowing silver robe. Its skin was pale blue, eyes large and glowing faintly. It looked around. With calm interest, the alien raised one hand and spoke. Not in words, but in sound pulses. Mira translated instantly. I am Ilaru. I speak for the builders. I have come to see the one who commands this ship. Captain Cole stepped forward. Then come, he said. We have much to talk about. As they walked toward the elevator, Mira spoke to Nathan alone. Captain, I have scanned Ilaru. No weapons, no implants. But high brain activity. Their species may be very old, very advanced. Then let's listen, Nathan said, and hope they want peace more than fear. In the heart of the ship, human and alien sat together for the first time, and the future of the galaxy hung in their words. Across the galaxy, far from Earth and the UE's Vanguard, a quiet room filled with light buzzed with urgent voices. The Galactic Council, made up of more than a dozen ancient and powerful species, had gathered inside a dome-shaped chamber that floated above the homeworld of Velthor Prime. A giant hologram hovered in the center, showing the slow advance of the human ship. Each counselor sat on a raised platform, facing the hologram. Some were insect-like. Others had smooth crystal bodies, or glowing skin, or faces hidden under layers of breathing masks. But they all stared at the same image, a human ship so large it dwarfed anything they had ever built. Counselor Tariq of the Molari Union slammed a heavy hand on his desk. That ship is a weapon. No race builds something like that unless they plan war. We don't know that yet, said Vral, the youngest counselor, from the peaceful world of Relena. Her skin was a soft silver, her eyes calm. They have made no hostile move. They responded to a signal. They even welcomed our envoy. And what if that envoy never returns? Barked Counselor Drosses, a thick-scaled brute from the Drak Coalition. We sent one of our own into the mouth of a monster. The room stirred with tension. Back on the screen, the UE's Vanguard drifted beside the ancient station. It made the alien ships look like toys in its shadow. Counselor Vral turned to the data feed. Their ship is powered by an engine type we don't recognize. Its AI is unlike anything in the archives. And yet they broadcast messages of peace. Deception, whispered Counselor Yaren, whose body was half machine. We must strike now before they build more. A new hologram appeared beside the main one. It showed the message the station had sent, the one that said, "You came too early." Too early for what? Brawl asked softly. That is the question none of us can answer. Meanwhile, on the U's Vanguard, Captain Nathan Cole sat with Ilaru, the alien emissary, in the command chamber. A translator device allowed Ilaru to speak with Myra's help. You built your ship for war, Ilaru said, his voice smooth and calm. But you use it with restraint. That is unusual. We built it after a great war, Nathan replied. One we nearly lost. We learned that peace is strongest when it is protected. Ilaru nodded. You came in response to our signal. Yet we did not send it to you. It was a leftover code, drifting. We feared its day would come. Now you are here. Your people fear us, Nathan said. They fear what follows ships like yours. Myra cut in. Captain, long-range sensors detect multiple energy spikes in nearby sectors. Not from the station, from incoming ships. Carla's voice followed. Sir, we're being watched. Nathan stood. By who? Unknown. Stealth profiles, but I count at least 9. Ilaru didn't flinch. The Council watches you. They do not trust your silence. They want to see what you do when surrounded. Nathan turned to Mira. Red alert, shields up. No weapons charged unless I say. The bridge lights dimmed to combat gray. The crew moved fast but stayed quiet. Everyone had trained for battle, but no one wanted it. Put them on screen, Nathan ordered. Outside shadows moved. Ships of different designs from different races faded in from stealth. They circled the vanguard like wolves around a lion. Carla frowned. Some of them are powering weapons, not charging, but ready. Nathan stared. This is a test. They want to see what we do. Mira whispered. Captain, I can activate the flare systems. Non-lethal, bright, controlled. It might push them back without firing. Nathan nodded. Do it. A moment later, the UE's vanguard lit up with pulses of blinding white-blue light. Not a shot. Not an attack. Just a wave of light strong enough to force every ship to pull back. The enemy ships moved. Sun turned, blinking out of visibility again. Others hovered, unsure. Then one sent a message. Your strength is noted. So is your choice not to strike. The council chambers went silent as the feed showed the event. Counselor Tariq leaned back. Stunned. They had every chance to fire. But they didn't, Vrial said. Perhaps we were wrong. One by one, the counselors voted. Some still feared. Some stayed quiet. But for the first time, a few offered support. Vral stepped forward. Let me go to them. Not a message, not a drone, a real voice. They deserve more than eyes in the dark. And the council agreed. The galaxy had stared at the human Colossus. And now, the Colossus had stared back without rage. For now the war drums were silent. A gentle hum filled the main corridor of the UE's vanguard as Captain Nathan Cole walked beside Ilaru, the alien emissary. The ship's lights dimmed slightly to adjust to Ilaru's vision, and Mira guided their steps from the speakers. Above, the council has seen your restraint, Ilaru said calmly. They do not understand your kind. They fear strength without reason. Nathan kept his pace steady. Humanity has always survived by showing strength, but we don't use it without cause. We only fight when there's no other way. Ilaru paused beside a viewing window. Outside, the alien station glowed in the distance. Ships from different species moved slowly in the dark, circling but not approaching. They sent another envoy, Ilaru said, a counselor. One of the few who believes peace may still be possible. Then let's give them something worth believing in, Nathan said. In the main docking bay, the second shuttle arrived. Security teams stood ready, weapons lowered but in hand. Lieutenant Carla Monroe watched carefully from the upper deck. The shuttle opened, and a figure stepped out. Not tall like Ilaru, smaller, wrapped in long robes that shimmered like stars. She lowered her hood. I am Vral, she said, her voice soft and melodic. I speak for the minority who do not wish to fear you. Nathan stepped forward. Welcome to the vanguard. Vral looked around slowly. The hangar, the structure, the calm discipline of the human crew. You do not build like others, she said. We built this ship to survive, Nathan answered. Because we learned long ago that no one else would come to save us. They walked together toward the ship's diplomatic chamber, a round, quiet room at the center of the ship. The walls displayed images of Earth's history, art, and messages of peace translated into hundreds of known galactic languages. Mira greeted Vral in her native tongue, causing the counselor to blink in surprise. Your machine is impressive, she said. Mira is more than a machine, Nathan replied. She is our voice when we can't speak fast enough, our guide when we can't see far enough. Vril smiled faintly. Then let her listen. The talks began. Alaru, Vril, and Captain Cole sat across from one another, each with Mira translating and recording everything. They spoke about the signal, the ancient warning, and the unknown force that once pushed the builders into hiding. Your arrival, Vril said, woke old memories. There was once a threat so dark, so powerful, the builders erased whole systems just to hide from it. They believed it was gone. Now they fear you might be connected. We aren't, Nathan said firmly. But we have seen shadows too. Things that come from the edges of known space. Things that kill and leave nothing behind. That's why ships like the Vanguard were built, not to conquer, to survive. Mira displayed a hologram in the room. It showed wrecked colonies, blackened moons, and strange signatures in space. This force is still out there, Mira said. We encountered it 10 years ago. The Vanguard is the first ship designed to withstand it. Vril leaned forward. Then perhaps we have more in common than we thought. Back on the bridge, Carla and Darren monitored the surrounding alien ships. The Council's fleet was still watching, still unsure. They're scanning us again, Darren said. Slow, careful, not aggressive. They're scared, Carla replied. They want to understand, but they're afraid what they might find. Darren looked at the view screen. Do you think the talks will work? They have to, Carla said. Or we're going to be fighting half the galaxy. Inside the diplomatic chamber, hours passed. Questions were asked, and truths were shared. Vril asked about Earth, about human history, about their wars and their progress. Ilaru listened carefully, his mind sharp. Your people, he said, evolved fast, faster than most. But with speed comes risk. Others think you may repeat the mistakes of the old empires. Maybe we will, Nathan admitted. But maybe we'll do better. That's why we're here. To prove we're not what you fear. Vril stood. Then you must show them, not with words, with action. Nathan raised an eyebrow. What kind of action? Vril turned to the screen. It now showed a nearby system, one under Council protection. There's a station there, small. It went dark 2 weeks ago. The Council believes it's lost. They won't risk their ships to investigate. But if you go ... and if you help, they might start to believe. Captain Cole nodded slowly. Send us the coordinates. Vril gave a quiet smile. Then let this be your first act of trust. The Council would be watching, every move recorded. Every choice judged. But the UE's Vanguard had taken its first step onto the galactic stage, and it had done so not with fire, but with an open hand. The U's Vanguard moved through space with quiet power, heading toward the station that had gone dark. It drifted above a pale blue planet, surrounded by broken satellites and dead debris. There were no signals, no warnings, and no replies. Captain Nathan Cole stood on the bridge, arms crossed. On the screen ahead, the station looked lifeless. Lights off, hull scarred. The orbit was unstable, wobbling slowly. No life signs, Mira reported. But the outer hull shows signs of recent damage, energy spikes recorded in the last cycle. So something happened here, Carla said, adjusting her scope. Question is, are we too late? Darren Cruz, calm at the helm, turned the Vanguard into a stationary position above the ruined station. No threats visible, he said. But I don't like how quiet it is. Ilaru and Vril watched from the side of the bridge. The alien counselor said nothing, but her eyes never left the screen. Nathan pointed. Launch a drone. Let's see inside before we send anyone down. Within minutes, a slim recon drone left the Vanguard, gliding toward the damaged station. It passed through a gash in the side wall and entered the dark corridors. Mira guided its path. The footage showed wreckage, burned panels, scratches on walls, no bodies, no blood, just silence and shadow. Then a flash. The drone's camera caught movement. A figure, thin, fast, gone in a second. That wasn't human, Darren whispered. Mira froze the frame. Analysis inconclusive. But humanoid structure, possibly armored. Vral stepped forward. The council suspected this. There were rumors of dark tech from the old times, experiments lost in space. This may be one. Nathan gave a single nod. Then we finish what they ran from. Carla, prep a boarding team. I want full gear, scanning tools, and 2 combat drones. We enter in 10 minutes. Later, the boarding team stood in the launch bay, 6 soldiers, 1 engineer, and Lieutenant Carla leading them. Their armor shone under the bay lights, clean and ready. Drones hovered silently beside them. Check your weapons, Carla ordered. Keep tight formation. If anything moves, Mira will alert us. The drop ship launched, curving toward the dark station. Back. On the bridge, Nathan watched every feed. Mira whispered updates, measuring every change in pressure, temperature, sound. Inside the station, Carla's team advanced through long halls. The lights flickered as emergency systems tried to power up. Feels like a tomb, one soldier muttered. They found signs of life, food trays untouched, chairs knocked over, writing on the walls. But no people. Then the power snapped on. Mira spoke. Quickly. Unknown signal, not from us. Something activated the station's core. What triggered it? Nathan asked. I don't know. It wasn't us. Carla raised her hand. Eyes up. We've got movement. East corridor. Sensors picking up 3 figures. The drones moved ahead, their lights cutting through the dark. Then they saw them. 3 beings, not machines. Not alive in the usual way. Their limbs were jointed like metal, but their skin looked half organic, stretched and torn in places. Glowing eyes locked onto the team, weapons ready. Carla shouted. One of the things lunged. A drone fired first, dropping it fast. The others scattered. The fight was short, brutal, silent. When it ended, Carla knelt beside one of the fallen enemies. What are they? Mira scanned. A blend of cybernetic tech and dead tissue, reanimated, not natural. Vral watched from the bridge. Her face had gone pale. This is the old enemy. The one the council tried to bury in silence. You faced it. And you survived. Nathan turned to her. Will the council see that? She nodded slowly. They will, and they will fear you even more. Later, the boarding team returned, bringing samples and footage. Carla gave a full report. Mira organized the data into a package to send to the council. We didn't just clean the station, Nathan said. We stopped something worse from spreading. Mira added softly, a power like this, left unchecked, could destroy a planet. The Vanguard moved away from the ruined station. Behind them it drifted into the planet's gravity field. At Nathan's order, a single pulse from the Vanguard's forward cannon sent it burning into the atmosphere. It glowed as it fell, then vanished. Clean end, Darren said. But the message had already been sent. Across the galaxy, the council watched the footage. They saw the creatures. They saw the humans enter, fight and leave. And they saw the Vanguard hold its fire until the end. They fight like us, one counselor whispered. But they think before they do. Others were not so sure. Today they saved a station, another muttered. Tomorrow they might take one. The debate would go on, but one thing was now clear. The Vanguard was not just a ship. It was a force. And the galaxy had just witnessed its first real display of power. News of the Vanguard's actions spread fast across the stars. Within hours, the council chambers lit up with flickering screens, messages arriving from worried systems and cautious ambassadors. The footage of the Dark Station mission, of the twisted half-living machines, and of the Vanguard's surgical precision and restraint was now on every world in the Alliance. Inside the Council Dome, tension thickened. Some species praised the humans for their bravery. Others saw only danger, a ship so powerful that it did not need help, and a crew that faced death with calm eyes. The very same actions that showed discipline to some looked like cold calculation to others. Councillor Drosses of the Drakh Coalition growled through his translator. "You've all seen the recordings. That ship entered a restricted system without permission. It destroyed the remains of the station and removed evidence without our oversight." "They saved lives," argued Councillor Vrall from her platform. "And more than that, they contain something none of us dared to face. If we let fear rule, we will drive away the very allies we need." Councillor Yaren, the half-machine elder, turned his glowing eyes to the center. "This is not about the station. This is about control. Humanity has revealed itself, and now we must decide if they are part of our order ... or a threat to it." The chamber quieted. "Then we vote," said the High Speaker, a tall being made of shifting mist. "Each member race will cast its decision. Classification of humanity, ally, unknown, or threat." Meanwhile, on the U's Vanguard, Captain Nathan Cole sat in the ready room with Carla and Darren. Mira hovered in the air above them, projecting the council meeting in silence. "They're afraid of us," Darren said. "They should be," Carla replied. "Not because we mean harm, but because they finally realize we don't need them." Nathan didn't smile. "That's not what we want. We came here to connect, to build trust." Mira spoke quietly. "If the vote goes against us, they may act. Already, 2 fleets have repositioned at key routes. They won't fire," Darren said. "They just want to scare us." "And what if scaring US becomes a mistake?" Nathan asked. "One shot, one misunderstanding. That's all it takes." Vrall had returned to the Vanguard after the mission. Now she stood with Mira in the observation deck, watching stars slide by. "I've lived through many council debates," she said. "They all come down to one question: who holds the power? And they believe we do," Mira replied. "Yes, but power is only dangerous when it's unpredictable. Captain Cole is not unpredictable. That's what I keep telling them." Back in the council chamber, votes were cast. Lights changed on the ceiling, each color representing a choice. One by one, ancient civilizations made their position clear. Threat, unknown. Ally, the majority said unknown. A few said threat, only 3 said ally. The result echoed through the galaxy like a drumbeat in space. Humanity was not yet trusted. The Council would not engage directly, but neither would they welcome Earth into their fold. A message was sent to the Vanguard. Classification, unknown. Observation will continue. Presence beyond agreed borders will not be tolerated. Support restricted. Contact monitored. Nathan read the message slowly, then handed the pad to Carla. She whistled. "So they're watching us like a caged animal." "No," Nathan said, "like something they don't understand." Vrall joined them. "This is not failure, it's a beginning. They feared you would attack. You didn't. They feared you would take. You gave instead. That matters. It will take time. Time we might not have," Darren muttered. Nathan stood. "Then let's use what we do have." Mira, send a reply. "Message ready," Mira said. "What should I say?" Nathan looked out at the stars. "Tell them we will stay within their borders. Tell them we will not run. And tell them that if they call, we'll come." Mira sent the message, her signal reaching the outer edges of known space. In the dark, the Vanguard turned, slow and steady, its engines burning like a sunrise. The vote had not brought peace, but it hadn't brought war either. Somewhere in the galaxy, unknown eyes watched, judging, waiting. And in the silence between stars, the ship carried its message. "We are here. We'll not kneel, but we will listen. The Vanguard glided through the emptiness of space like a silent guardian. Its lights were dimmed, shields at standby, weapons offline. Yet even without aggression, the ship gave off a presence like a sleeping giant that could wake at any moment inside. Captain Nathan Cole stood alone in the ship's core chamber. The room was dark, lit only by the glowing walls of data streams and Mira's soft light. This was where the ship's most private systems lived, secrets not even the Council knew. "Mira," he said quietly, "it's time. Show Vral what she asked for." Mira's voice responded gently, "Are you sure, Captain? This information has not been shared with any non-human entity." "She risked herself to give us a chance," Nathan replied. "She deserves to know what we built this ship for." Minutes later, Vral entered the chamber. Her steps were careful, unsure. She had seen parts of this ship before: the bridge, the diplomatic rooms, the hangars, but not this. This was the heart, this room. "Feels different," she said. Nathan nodded. "It is. What you're about to see hasn't been shown to your council or any other race. Not because we wanted to hide it, but because we weren't sure anyone would believe it." Myra began the projection. A large hologram filled the air. It was footage. Black skies, a dead human colony, buildings torn apart, fires burning without oxygen. No bodies, just ash. 10 years ago, Nathan said. This was Vega 9, a peaceful world, 15,000 civilians. Wiped out in less than 6 minutes. The footage changed. A different angle now. A recording from a satellite camera. Something moved in the shadows. Of space, a shape that shimmered like glass, massive and fast. It struck the colony and vanished. "We call them Wraith-class entities," Mira said. "No language, no known biology, pure destruction. We still don't know where they come from." Vral stared, eyes wide. "Your council kept this quiet?" "They had no choice," Nathan replied. "Panic would have spread across the stars. We tried to stop it. Lost 3 fleets trying. Nothing worked. Until the Vanguard." The projection now showed blueprints. The ship in its early stages. Designs for armor that could regenerate. Weapons tuned to frequencies no other species used. A central AI built not just to control the ship, but to think like a strategist. "The Vanguard wasn't built for galactic peace," Nathan said. "It was built to stop extinction. To fight an enemy we barely understand." Vral walked slowly around the projection. "Why tell me this now? Because your council thinks we're dangerous. And maybe we are, but not to them. To what's cunning. And if they don't trust us, they'll never be ready." Mira added, "I have recorded patterns in deep space. Movements similar to Wraith signatures. They are not gone. Just quiet." Vral turned. "You think they will return?" "Not if," Nathan said. "When?" Elsewhere on the ship, Darren and Carla stood in the observation deck, looking at a cluster of distant stars. They didn't speak much. They didn't have to. The silence between them was filled with understanding. "Do you ever think about it?" Darren asked. "What happens if they do come back?" "All the time," Carla said. "But then I remember this ship, this crew, and I think, maybe we'll be ready." Back in the council chamber, things were not quiet. The footage leaked not from the humans, from someone inside the council. Images of the Wraith attack, human ships burning, the Vanguard surviving when others had failed. The galaxy reacted with shock. Some races now understood why humanity built what it did. Others panicked. "They kept this from us," Counselor Drasses shouted. "They let us walk blind." "No," Vral replied in defense. "We refused to look. And they held the line while we hid." The High Speaker called for silence. "If this enemy returns, then the question is not whether the humans should be watched, but whether we should stand beside them." On the Vanguard, Mira received a burst. Of messages from Allied outposts. Some asked for help, some offered support. One asked to begin shared research on Wraith signatures. Nathan stood on the bridge again. He looked around at his crew, tired, proud, ready. They know the truth now, he said. Some won't like it. But at least now they see what we see. Mira pulsed softly. Then shall I prepare the next mission, Captain? Nathan smiled. Yes, let's make sure the stars don't fall on anyone else the way they fell on Vega 9. In the cold dark, the Vanguard turned again, this time, not to defend itself, but to prepare others for what was coming. The UE's Vanguard moved steadily through the silent reaches of space. Captain Nathan Cole watched the stars slide by from the bridge's front viewport. Behind him, the crew sat at their stations, alert but calm. There was no immediate threat. Instead, there was a new purpose. The message from the Council had come hours ago. The vote that placed humanity in the unknown category had shifted. Several races had changed their minds. Some called for an alliance with Earth. The galaxy felt different since the secret of the Wraith-class entities became public. Nathan turned to Mira. Report. Mira's voice was soft. 4 council members have formally requested alliance talks. 2 more have offered to share research. 4 races remain undecided. 3 label us a potential threat. He nodded, set course for the meeting point. Coordinates provided by Vral. Vral joined him on the bridge. She stood beside Carla and Darren, watching the status board. Her silver eyes were clear. They're showing faith, she said. Not all, but enough. Good, Nathan said. We'll need numbers if the Wraith return. Suddenly, alarms chimed softly. A small blip appeared on the radar. Unknown ship approaching, Darren said quietly. Not Council, no registry. Carla checked her screen. It's damaged, hull scars, sections missing, but engines are stable. It's slowing down as it nears. Ready a drone, Nathan ordered. Let's see who it is. The drone launched. It zoomed toward the blip and returned with footage. A battered freighter came into view. It had Council markings but twisted. Its crew was gone. The bridge was empty. They came to us, Viral said, voice low. They were fleeing. Mira analyzed the data. Their logs show an attack. Wraith signatures. They escaped from the edge of known space. Nathan's jaw tightened. Bring it aboard. We'll repair it and see what happened. In the hangar, the freighter docked. Engineers in white coveralls floated out. They examined the hull, patched holes, and ran internal scans. No crew. Only data logs remained. An engineer called out. Captain, you need to see this. Nathan followed her inside the freighter. Screens flickered with messages. The last log said, we ran into them. They came from the Black Nebula. We barely escaped. Vanguard helps. The message cut off. Vanguard helps, Nathan repeated. Then we must. He returned to the bridge and sent a priority request to every friendly race. We have proof. The Wraith are returning. We need an alliance before it's too late. Several ships appeared on the radar. Council envoys, research vessels, and Earthships. They formed a loose circle around the Vanguard. A Council fleet commander's voice came over the comms. You Isa. Vanguard, this is Admiral Core of the Clan Protectorate. We accept your alliance. We will share our fleets and our knowledge. Another voice followed. This is High Engineer Roan of the Yasha Collective. We will send our best minds to study the Wraith tech. Nathan nodded. Thank you. Form up behind us. We leave for the Black Nebula in 20. Vral exhaled. You did it. Nathan smiled. We did it. Together. The Allied ships fell in line. The Vanguard led the way, engines glowing blue. Soon they reached the edge of the Black Nebula. Dark clouds swirled, lit by distant stars. Beyond was nothing but silence. We begin here, Nathan said. voice carrying through the bridge. On our own, we might survive one attack. But together, we can stop them. Carla and Darren looked out at the nebula. I've never felt so sure, Darren said. Carla smiled. This is what we fought for. Not just our world, the whole galaxy. Vral tapped her cum badge. All envoys, prepare for the briefing. The first of many, Mira activated the holographic table. Data streams from every allied race filled the air. Wraith attack patterns, shield frequencies, and the freighter's logs. Merged into one clear map. Begin analysis, Nathan said. We move as one. As the Alliance began its first joint operation, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. In the center of it all was the U's Vanguard, a symbol of strength, unity, and hope. Born of war, made for peace. And now, leading an alliance against the darkness.